What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Printer Dub here with a new video, here to talk about the Tennessee Titans offseason. So let's dive right into it. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on what you think is going to happen this offseason for the Tennessee Titans. But let's dive into the first thing I want to talk about, which is Tom Brady. If you haven't heard, which most of you probably have, Tom Brady has officially retired for the second time, and this time he says it's for good. So we'll just see, I guess, if it's true for him. But more than likely, I'd say he's done. The man is going to be 46 going into next year. I think he's put everything he's had into this game, and for me personally, I think it's time for him to retire. I just don't think the man's going to win another Super Bowl with the way the game has evolved now, with more speed, with more throwing, all that stuff. The game is more sped up now, to a point where Tom Brady is getting slower and slower because of his age. So for him to retire, I'm not mad at all. I'm actually okay. Let's see how long that lasts. But I think he's done. You look at his career and what he's done. There's really nothing else he has to prove. He has the most Super Bowls in NFL history. So what else does he have to prove? He's the GOAT. So the man has nothing left to prove. But for the Tennessee Titans, that means that Tom Brady will not be interested in coming to Tennessee, obviously, if he is retiring. So that's one scenario we can get out of the way. But these other scenarios that I'm going to talk about are pretty interesting. And one thing that I've heard about a report on the Aaron Rodgers scenario going to the Titans, the Packers apparently want to move on from Aaron Rodgers. They want to see what Jordan Love can do. I guess they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna tank or rebuild or whatever they're gonna do. Um, but the Packers want two first round picks for Aaron Rodgers, and apparently they don't want to trade him to a NFC team where I guess he couldn't come back to haunt them. But honestly, guys, two first round picks. You look at what this team needs this offseason, and for me personally, I'm out on the Aaron Rodgers thing because the truth is, this team needs an offensive line. And I am one of those people where it was like, oh, get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. But guys, the reality here is it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. This team really needs a left tackle. This team really needs a left guard. And this team really needs to go into free agency and pick up somebody to help this offensive line, especially that left side, because that left side is the weakest side of the offense this season. You look at guys like Dennis Daly. I mean, the man was getting fucking bulldozed. Excuse my language, but the man was getting bulldozed all year. So personally, I'm out on the Aaron Rodgers scenario. You really need to rebuild that offensive line. I don't know about completely rebuild, but you definitely need help on that left side. And if you were to give up that first pick, it just wouldn't be worth it because this team really needs help in the draft this offseason. So I would not recommend going to get Aaron Rodgers. I'm out on that, especially if they want two first round picks. Which I think the Titans are only getting one first round pick this year, anyways. Do you really want to give up possibly the best left tackle in the draft for Aaron Rodgers, who is, what, 38 now? I just don't think it's worth it. So I'm out on that, especially if they want two first round picks and some change. And no, I'm not interested in that. And you've got other scenarios where you could get Trey Lance. God. The whole Google is or not Google, but these sources are going nuts over Trey Lance going to the Titans. The truth on Trey Lance is this: the man, I think, broke his ankle last year. If I'm correct, he broke his ankle this past year in his second game. Was it against the Bears? I can't remember. But I remember that game, though. The Bears and the 49ers. Let me know in the comments if it was the Bears. I don't remember. I don't keep up with the 49ers like that. I don't know every game they play. But it was very rainy. If it did happen in the Bears game, it was very rainy and it was muddy and it was like one of the nastiest games I've ever seen. Which I don't, which takes us back to like 70s, 60s football when you played in those type of conditions. And God, y'all remember for all you old heads out there, sorry, I'm 24. Do you guys remember the Kansas City game when it was like so like it was raining so badly that literally the stairs where the fans walked down, it was like all flooded. So it was like a waterfall basically in that game. And man, but anyways, off topic there. So am I in on Trey Lance is the question here. Honestly, guys, he's young, and we do need young talent right now, especially when you look at what's coming in the AFC South. Plus, add Trevor Lawrence to the mix. You possibly have CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, and Bryce Young in this division, and all we guys Ryan Tannehill, we're in trouble. So, and this team, guys, regardless of who they have at quarterback, this team is not winning the Super Bowl this year. So honestly, I would just go focus on the tackle in the draft and draft you a young corner because Christian Fulton may not. I don't know what they're going to do with him. He's just been hurt a lot. He's been like when he's playing, he's like a B- type of corner. He's gonna give you. He's good enough to give you stops. He's good enough to get you stops. He's good enough to break up passes here and there. But I went to the Cincinnati game this season, and I know I'm getting off topic again. I went to the Cincinnati game this season, and honestly, the man was just getting beat by T. Higgins. And there was a play where everybody in the stadium got up because Burrow was throwing to T. Higgins, and I was like, touchdown. Because T. Higgins is taller than him, so it makes sense. And he's a better and he can catch very well. So he caught it over Christian Fulton, did this. I was like, man, wow. What are we gonna do with him? But I know I'm getting off topic. But anyways, am I in on Trey Lance? That's the question. I say no, and just because simply I think this team needs to simply focus on the tackle position this offseason. Like I said, I know I've said CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, but the reality is, if you have Dennis Daly at your left tackle, I mean, is any quarterback going to be good back there, or is any quarterback even going to survive in the pocket? No, they're going to get killed back there. It's just not worth it. Um, so I'm out on Trey Lance just for that reason because I just don't think right now is the offseason where you really need to focus on quarterback because the reality is, where are you going? Where are you going? You're not winning a Super Bowl this year, so you might as well just keep Ryan Tannehill for all we know. Um, Next one is Derek Carr, and definitely not in on that. And Derek Carr to me is he's not a he's not the worst quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, I give that to Zach Wilson, but come on, I mean, for what they're paying him and for what we're gonna pay him, I am not in on it. I'd say when Derek Carr is in there, he can win you games at times. At times, Raiders fans chill. At times, he can win you games, But he's not good enough to win you playoff games. He's not good enough to get you to the Super Bowl. He's not good enough to win you 11 games or 10 games even. I don't even think the Raiders have made the playoffs except for that one time last year when they lost to the Bengals. I don't think they've made really a playoff run in the Derek Carr era, and it's just showing that the Titans don't need to get Derek Carr. He's too expensive, and for what he's worth, and or excuse me, and for what they're paying him and for what we're gonna pay him, I'm out on that. I'm not good with numbers. I'm still learning this YouTube stuff, by the way. I'm doing my research more and more often. I'm looking at Titans news every day. I even made a note sheet here. I made a note sheet here. So I'm getting better and better. I'm doing my homework on the Tennessee Titans, guys. Don't worry, I'm doing my homework on them. Um, the next quarterback, Jimmy G, and no. Who would I rather have, Derek Carr or Jimmy G? See, that's tough because I think they both. I'd say Jimmy G has led his team to at least has led his team to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G has led his team to the Super Bowl. Derek Carr hasn't even really made the playoffs as a Raiders quarterback, except for that one time last year, I think. And the truth is, I don't know Jimmy G's contract situation. I don't know all these players' contract situation, but I know Derek Carr is going to be outrageously expensive, and he's going to put you in the gutter for a while because you paid him when you could have paid your offensive line and you could have paid other holes to fill on this roster. But Jimmy G, I'm out on him simply because he's a bit better than Ryan Tannehill, and I get it. He has led his team to a Super Bowl appearance before, and they should have won that game, by the way. I get it, but I'm out on him just because, again, I don't know if he's going to be too expensive, and are we real? I feel like we're going to get another Ryan Tannehill. Really, he's a bit better than Ryan Tannehill, but he's good enough to win you games. But when it comes to the big stage, is he really going to get you where you want to go? I don't think so. I get it. He's been there one time, and I just don't really know about Jimmy G. I'm kind of on the question mark side of things when it comes to Jimmy G personally. So I don't know personally where we go with Jimmy G. All I know is you got to keep Ryan Tannehill. You might as well because, I mean, honestly, you need to get this offensive line situated. At least keep him one more year, see what he does. If not, you can at least tank. You always have that option to tank with Malik Willis or Josh Dobbs, so you can go get Caleb Williams in the draft next year. I would just much rather tank than to pick up a Derek Carr or a Jimmy G. Personally, I would much rather do that. Um, let's get into our next topic, which is the Titans salary cap situation. And I'm not good with numbers, but I just took notes here. Um, the Titans are negative $23,623,634 in cap space. I will say that again, negative 23,623,634 in cap space. That's not good. That is not good. It's not good at all. So, what can the Titans do to get that number into the positive end of things? Well, the Titans could cut Robert Woods because he makes $16 million a year, and he is not worth that. So get rid of him. Taylor Lewan definitely need to cut, especially when you are going to draft a left tackle this offseason. When you're looking into drafting that left tackle of the future, I would definitely cut Taylor Lewan. Taylor Lewan is probably done with football anyways. He's probably done with football. I just don't see him really doing football really anymore. Um, and he makes 60 million a year, and I would just cut him because even Taylor Wan said himself he's going to be cut, and I've got my Taylor Wan jersey upstairs. So I think Taylor Wan has done a great job for this franchise, but it's time to move on. I mean, the man can't stay healthy. You're paying him too much for what he for to just stand on the sideline mostly all year long. It's just not worth it. He's going to continue to do Bussing with the Boys, which he should. He should do his media career, which is what I'm trying to do. Um, so yeah, Taylor Wan. If they cut him, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, they cut Taylor Wan. Oh my god, oh my god. So, I mean, definitely, cut him because it's not worth it. Um, the next one you could cut Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree makes 16,500,000 on his average salary, and I don't know if these numbers are correct. I looked at a website for these, by the way, and call me out in the comments if you want to. But Bud Dupree is definitely a must cut, and the reason for that is because what has Bud Dupree really done all year besides getting hurt? Actually, what has he done really since he's got here besides getting hurt? You look at our pass rush, right? We've got Harold Landry. We've got Denico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons, and then Bud Dupree. But you could draft another Bud Dupree, honestly, if you want to go that route, or you could trade for somebody, or you can go to free agency. I just don't think Bud Dupree is worth the contract anymore. Um, You could lowball him, but I wouldn't do it. I would just straight up cut him. Honestly, you need the cap space, so definitely you got to get rid of him. Bud Dupree's just been hurt. We can all agree that he's useless on this team, so we can get rid of him. I wouldn't cry if we got rid of Bud Dupree, honestly. Another player you could cut Zach Cunningham. The man makes 14 million average salary, and look, I would definitely cut him for sure because the man again, it's another Bud Dupree, but at linebacker, the man when he's in there, when Bud Dupree and Zach Cunningham are in there, when they're fully healthy, I'd say they do. They do enough, but they don't. They're not game changers. They're not. So I would definitely consider cutting those two, Zach Cunningham for sure, because or Bud Dupree for sure, and then Zach Cunningham because Zach Cunningham again is another player that's done nothing be hurt. So again, I wouldn't be upset if we got rid of Zach Cunningham. You can draft a Zach Cunningham. You can draft a linebacker in the second or third round, right? Something like that. I just don't think it's worth it. Me personally, I just don't think it's worth it. So those are my top cut candidates. You definitely, you definitely want to try to get rid of those guys, get that cap space a little more. And when it goes to Robert Woods, we do need receivers, but Robert Woods is old. I just don't think he's worth it anymore. Let's get rid of him. We could definitely draft a Jalen Hyde if we want to go that route or something. Something else. Um. And then the last thing I want to go over for the offseason notes is which we're gonna probably have to do a part two when we get an offensive coordinator. The Titans installed new turf field. I heard it's got some like coconut extract or something like that in it, and it has to be watered. Shout out to Tyler Rowland on the Locked On Titans podcast. I watch him all the time, and he does a phenomenal job. He's smarter than me when it comes to the numbers, by the way. But yes, the Titans put new turf field in, and the reason for that is because you look at the injuries. So I'm assuming at this point they're trying to do anything they can to limit the injuries. The truth is, guys, your favorite player is going to get hurt. Look at the NFL. Everybody gets tackled, or everybody's going to get pushed around. I mean, and you got to go 100 yards back and forth. It's not this turf field. This is not a guarantee that the injuries are going to stop, but this is a guarantee that the injuries will be less likely to happen, I guess. But at least they're trying, okay? We need a new strength and conditioning staff, by the way. Where's that at? um, but the turf field, I agree with. At least they're trying. And it's supposed to have cutting edge technology. And guys, the Titans need something that's cutting edge technology. This team is living in the 90s, the 70s, whatever. We need something else. We need something else. That's all I know. We need fresh air in this franchise. We need fresh air, okay? Let's just bring in fresh air. That's all we need. New ideas, and I like it. Shout out to Mike Vrabel for at least trying something new. When a lot of us doubted him, that he wasn't going to get rid of Todd Downing. Oh, speaking of Todd Downing, the man is now serving his DUI sentence. Can you believe that? The man is serving his DUI sentence. I guess he didn't have a choice because the man is no longer an offensive coordinator, so might as well just I guess he said screw it, I'm turning myself in. I got nothing to lose at this point. So at least he'll learn. You know, I know a lot of us hated Todd Downing as a coordinator, but as a person, I wish him nothing but the best for him and his family moving forward. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. Some of us do suck at our job, but that doesn't mean we're horrible people on the inside. The man just can't coordinate. That's all it is. The man just can't coordinate. The man can't call plays. But that doesn't mean he's a horrible person. That doesn't mean the man is literally like the like come on like at least I wish him nothing but the best moving forward. At least he turned himself in. At least he knew he was wrong. At least he's gonna serve his sentence. So again, the man probably has nothing to lose at this point. So at this point, we might as well. But that's gonna do it for me. I just wanted to go over some of these off-season notes with you guys. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas about who the Titans should cut. And let me know also in the comments what you think about Aaron Rodgers and all these other scenarios where the media is just like, oh my God, about. So with that being said, I'm going to close this video off. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on the notification bell for your next upload. Alright, it's been Prisoner Dub, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.